You are listening to the Artist King podcast. I am your host, DTM of DeltaTangoMike.com. The Artist King podcast features artists, entrepreneurs, and business coaches who share their knowledge, expertise, and resources to provide insight into the ways we can find our own personal success with our creative talents. Lauren MAYS is an illustrator, storyteller, and founder of Robotic Pastries. Her passion for drawing drives her to create memorable characters and stories. She shares her creative process on YouTube while making new stories for her characters like Boxing Bugs and other characters that we all know and love like Pac-Man and Sonic the Hedgehog. Lauren is following her art life and we are here to hear all about it. Hello, Lauren. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Thank you for being here in the Artist King podcast. Been a fan of your work. I actually really love your drawings. They look so effortlessly. Oh my gosh. tell me, tell me that you just run your hand over the page and it's done.
Sure, I wish.
Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What kind of art do you do?
All right. Well, everybody probably know this, but my name is Lauren. I really enjoy telling stories. I love making comics. I love making art that hints to stories. My biggest passion is drawing comics and really creating anything in the form of a story.
Oh, nice. Nice. And what kind of stories do you like? Because your art style is like very cartoon, right? Is that what you would say about your drawing style?
Yeah, I'd say it's very cartoony.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And bold lines, big shapes, bright colors, and a big fan of Pac-Man, aren't you? Tell us about when you first fell in love with Pac-Man.
Oh man, so that's a bit of a odd story. So it started back in say 2017 or around that year. It was when one of the Smash Bros games was coming out. It was the one where it first came back. It was coming out on the Wii U, and they would do character reveals.
Mm.
So one of the characters that got revealed was Pac-Man, and Pac-Man's a cool character. Everybody knows him, but it's not really a character you think about that much. But him getting into the game, I played as him. I liked him. Got me more invested into actually looking into him. And there's a kind of a resurgence going on during that year for him. Like they made a new cartoon and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got mildly invested then, but it was only like just maybe a year or two ago that I actually, start looking into it more. It's like, oh hey, hold up, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
you can do with this guy. So I explored that and just thought, oh man, there's so many kinds of stories you can actually do with this character that you wouldn't really guess. So I
Right.
thought it'd be cool to explore that.
Hey, what kind of stories can a yellow ball be featured in? Because like I remember Pac-Man. I remember the arcade. I remember the '80s. Okay, I don't know when Pac-Man first came out, but I remember the '80s and I forget the music now. But in any case, you saw it moving around and stuff. It's just a ball, whack a whack a whack a whack a whack. So tell us a little bit about the stories. What is it, the kind of stories? Since you like storytelling, you like Pac-Man. What kind of stories do you see yourself making in Pac-Man, and where did the inspiration come from?
So a lot of the inspiration comes from actually the different games and media that already exists for Pac-Man. So there's a very old '80s cartoon of Pac-Man that most people probably don't know about, and
Hmm.
there's a game called Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures. It's very silly, but it gives you like the kind of vibe that really fits with Pac-Man. Like it's weird, it's silly, but it's also like kind of adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
So I think stories like that center around that. You can explore characters more too, explore the ghosts more because I've seen that they've tried exploring characters in the ghosts more. In the last cartoon that they attempted, it's really exploring the character of Pac-Man and just have him going on different, small adventures, not trying to do a whole deep story, but using
Mm-hmm.
like storylines from the games that already exist, like the
Mm-hmm.
Pac-Man World series. That people really enjoyed that platform series. And then there's other Pac-Man games that exist that have villains and stuff people probably don't even
Mm-hmm.
know about, and just using the kind of weird world to just tell different stories with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like it's kind of easy to come up with some fun stuff for them and not try to go like make it a deep, super big story or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's not.
episodic is the word I'd say of what to do.
Episodic. Okay. Right, right, right. That's good. And I like those kind of stories because then you don't have to know the whole story of what happened last season or this last episode. You kind of just like watch one and it's like, okay, that was cool. That was cool. And it's kind of like short little quests.
Right,
I like that. That's good. Okay, cool, cool. I'm looking through some of the references you're mentioning. I might have to go ahead and get that Super Smash Brothers. I have the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, yeah. I like little games you can pick up, play with, and then and not worry about saving where you are or getting
right.
caught up because I don't have a whole lot of time for games, but I like having games. So growing up, you came across Pac-Man. I think Sonic, right? You do
Right,
make
right.
some Sonic stories. Where did you find Sonic the Hedgehog, and what attracted you to
Oh gosh, I've been into Sonic since I was like just a little kid.
it?
I played a few of the classic games. Like I played some on computer, old computer. I watched the cartoon at the time. I got into all sorts of media that fans made on YouTube and their
Mm,
own comics and stuff. And the few games I actually did manage to like get and played a lot. So Sonic for me has been around for a long time. I just always really like him as a character, the games, and really a lot of the stuff that fans created. Like that
hmm.
really got me into the character.
Did you were you a fan of the movie in the design that first that was first revealed that then caused an uproar that made the designers go back? What do you think about
Uh,
that stuff?
I don't think anybody was a fan of that design. It was wow, it was something else. I did enjoy the movie.
Uh huh.
I do think the second one is better. They have it's kind of how animated movies get, especially if it's an adaptation. They feel like they need to change a lot of things for anybody to get into it.
Right.
But
Right.
what they do have, I do think it is pretty good, and I'm excited to see what the third movie will do.
Hmm. That's it, because they've been smash hits, so they're coming. The movies are coming.
Yeah, it's like as long as you lean into the games, you'll please a lot of people. That's the biggest
Uh huh.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. And so, where does the inspiration for your own stories, using the fan art and the Pac-Man and Sonic the Hedgehog, but also your own characters? Where does this all this inspiration comes from? Like, how do you think of these stories up?
Oh gosh. So for my own stories, the inspiration comes from just a big variety of things. Like say with boxing bugs, I had really gotten into insects the year I thought of that. Like I I really like bees. I really like bees and just got interested in different kind of bugs. And I'm not sure where the boxing concept even came in, but
Mm-hmm.
that the idea came as like a one off idea that I just drew a little character of, and it just expanded into something way bigger. And that's usually how a lot of my ideas come.
Hmm.
It's either from thinking about something that I enjoy, and what I could do with that, or seeing like I'm into a lot of stories. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love watching mystery stories. I love watching adventure cartoons, reading adventure
Mm-hmm.
books, and all that. So it's a variety of inspiration that can come just from all the different type of things I like. Like, oh man, I like this. I would like to make something like this. I might think about that. It's like, oh, this would be a cool idea. Or even just while I'm doing something that I might not be really thinking about, and then suddenly that expands into its own thing, like the most recent thing that I did. So inspiration for me can come from just about anything, but usually stems from me trying to think of what I can do with the things that I like
Mhm.
and want to see more of.
Mhm. And so boxing bugs, what they live in a village, in a town, in a city, in the grass, on the trees. What kind of home and what kind of world do they have?
So that world is like, if I guess if bugs and insects were the main living things, like you have other creatures and everything, but not really people around. It's like a cartoon setting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have bugs that they have TV, they have entertainment and all this stuff, and
Mm.
just a kind of cartoon setting, and they're really into sports.
And they actually box and they wear gloves and they
Yes, they
punch each
wear
other.
they wear the big cartoony gloves and get into fights.
And they train. And so I mean, imagine now, like their everyday life. They have fun. They get upset at each other, but somewhere along the line they gotta train. They gotta prepare for facing of an opponent, maybe
Right,
from a
right.
different patch of grass.
Yeah, bugs from all sorts come together and they'll compete. Which I
And
love.
somebody gets the belt, the championship belt. Do they fight for the championship, or is
Oh
this an
yeah.
amateur undercard?
So, oh man, I can't go into that just yet because there's so much, but it's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
it, it's and they're aiming for big time, like real
Okay.
big time.
Uh huh. They're aiming for the big time. I'm looking at your tapas. Is that what you're publishing um boxing bugs on the tapas.io?
Yeah, I was publishing it there, and I had a little side Tumblr for it as well.
Mm-hmm. And because it looks like man, you got a lot of pages here, a whole lot. Episodes, I guess they're called episodes.
Yeah, the whole first issue is up on there, and also a side story I did as well.
Uh-huh. And so what are your plans for this? You say you had this whole big story idea, and I'm digging too far into the future. Like, what is it that you see Boxing Bugs future like? And is it gonna be a book series? Are you gonna print it? Are you interested in Boxing Bugs becoming as big as Pac-Man?
I would like that. I do have a pretty big idea, and honestly, I know exactly how I want it to go, beginning and end.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently on hiatus right now, but I do want to return to it and complete it as a full comic series, like releasing issues by the month. Just having the full team to be able to push it forward, release issue by issue,
Mm-hmm.
all the way until completion.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so so it sounds like it could be a team type of thing.
Right,
Uh-huh. So wherever so you got to recruit different kinds of folks.
right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And have you thought of who those people are going to be and why?
Um, I know you need the whole 9 yards.
Mhm.
Inkers, pencilers, colorists, letterer,
Mhm.
it's editor, all that kind of
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
It's either that or I come back to it working completely on my own on it.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I would like to be able to delegate the parts to it to actually help with production, so I'm not spreading myself out for
Right.
everything. I don't mind working on that one alone. Like with if improved now, I could definitely like get it out even faster now. But
Mhm.
it is nice to be able to hand certain things off to others, so you can continue on with other projects as well.
Yeah. Okay. And so recently I saw your animation, or I don't know. Yes, it's animation because it's got little moving parts. It's like a little animation story. Tell us what's going on here. A cat named You.
Yeah, okay, so a trick with Nanik. So that, my goodness, I started that. started working on that back last year in November,
Mm.
and it started out as as I was talking about earlier. It started out as just a little idea that I did just a few drawings of for fun, like, oh, this is a neat idea. I'll just do this and share it with some friends. And then right after that, I started thinking about this. I'm like, oh, this
Mhm.
is cool. Actually, this would be actually fun to see as a like a video. So I
Mhm.
started thinking of a short video idea to do, like maybe a short video series. And
Mhm.
within these next months leading up to right now, it has expanded into its own big series that there's so many plans for. So this is is just the beginning.
Wow. I'm looking at the little shorts, and it's like there's a lot of text to describe what's happening. The music, the little beeps that go when the words are showing up. I
Right.
feel like this like could be like an intro to a video game.
Exactly. That's exactly the inspiration for it. Like RPG games and
Mhm.
visual novels. Like that's
Mm.
it's like a video series that is almost like an actual game that
Mhm.
you're not playing it, but you're watching it, and that's the big thing about it.
Mhm.
And it was hard to hard to kind of get together how it would accomplish it all.
Uh-huh. This is good. So tell us a little bit about your background. Did you go to school and have a degree in animation? Did you go to art school? Tell us a little bit about your art connection.
So I only ever did homeschool for high school. I had contemplated for a while if I wanted to go to college, like SCAD or something, but
Mm-hmm.
like witnessing, just how college seemed for my own siblings is like, oh man, it seems like they're doing a lot of stuff that doesn't even relate to what they want to do. Like, I don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't seem like they enjoyed it. And maybe they did enjoy part of it, but it didn't seem like they enjoyed it. It's like, I don't want to do it either.
Right, right, right.
So, and then I was told, like, I thought it was something that you had to do, really. But then I was told, like, oh, you don't actually have to go to do what it is that you want to do. It's like, well, then I won't. So I'll just
Right.
build up my skills here, and like I can do everything I need to do here as long as I
Mm-hmm.
just push on it and work on it. So I didn't end up going to college. It could have been a cool experience, definitely, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's not something I'll ever regret.
Right. Well, I don't think you need it. I just think that somehow your training, whatever that was, it's the art is so clean. The angles you got, anatomy, shapes, colors. Oh my gosh, your colors.
I really appreciate it because honestly, it's years from just being self-taught, resources on the internet, just observing and improving as I go,
Mm-hmm.
being shared other resources on stuff I need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Really a lot of observation and hit or miss. Just learning from mistakes and steadily improving. Just
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that. It can get you very far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's what's awesome about today's media. That yes, there are resources. There is plenty of artists out there. There are plenty of artists out there who are sharing their process, so you can learn from what they do and pick up those little tips and tricks that, Yes, and I never went to college. I don't have an art degree or anything. I don't miss it. I don't think I missed out on anything. But the fact is that you still have to learn from somebody,
Right.
And so if you're the kind of person that can um, take the time to search for the knowledge and practice it, then it's just the same as going to school because except that the school collects all that knowledge for you. It's all in one place.
Right.
But man, I mean, I'm looking at your drawings right now. I think the Plain Buddies video on YouTube. You use Clip Studio.
I
Yep,
did. I
Clips.
did use it.
What are some of the apps that you use for your artwork?
So for a while, I've mainly been using Clip Studio. I have dipped into Photoshop again. It's been a while. But I didn't realize they had added like a line stabilizer. Now I know that it's like, oh yeah, I'm keeping this on my like, oh yeah, I'm adding this to the art program list. But
Uh-huh.
it's mainly been just Clip Studio for a couple years now because
Mm-hmm. Clip
I had
Studio.
explored other art programs, but nothing
Mm-hmm.
that seemed to really hit. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's Clip Studio and Photoshop.
Mm-hmm. Right, right, right. And so for your pages, like comic book pages, do you I know there's two versions of Clip Studio, the basic one, the one that I have, and then the EX that I think the difference is that you'll get to make books
Yeah,
in Clip Studio. Which one do you have?
I have the EX. I got
Okay.
that on sale years back after I first gotten Clip Studio. I know the biggest draw before was like it can also do animation. So, but with the simple version, you can only do so much. But with EX, then it's unlimited. So I gotten it for that, like just in case I ever wanted to use that
Mm-hmm.
for something. But I believe it does unlock some other aspects of it as well. Just if you want to do a little extra, like you can survive off the simple one just fine. But if you want to do like a little bit of extra stuff, then the
Okay.
EX is an option.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yeah, yeah. Your skills are amazing, and I am looking forward to battling with you on Adobe Live. What do you think about that idea? You always say yes to anything I ask. What do you think about that idea?
Oh man, I love drawing, so I'll draw for battling too. That's fine by me.
You love drawing. You'll battle. What do you draw on? What is your tablet of choice or tablet that you stick with right now?
I just recently got a new screen tablet. It was I believe it's a
Mm-hmm.
Huion tablet.
Okay.
It's very big. It takes up a majority of my desk, but
Oh.
it's a pretty cool tablet. And if I'm not using that, then while I'm at work, I'll bring a Surface tablet to draw on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. The Surface is awesome because it has it's full computer. It has all your programs. You know.
Right.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
day that go ahead.
I was saying I really enjoy the Surface. Just being able to bring it anywhere. It feels good to draw on as well. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
why I really like it. Just that portability is really good. 'Cause a screen tablet is great, but you can't bring that thing everywhere.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what kind of hue one you have. I have an older hue one. It was given to me. It's a 19 inch. It's a nice size. It's a nice size. But I don't like that hard plastic tip on that glass. Like somehow I need a something that's softer. And that's the only thing
Mhm.
that puts me off from the hue one. But I have the Wacom that's got a soft tip on the pen, and of course the Surface pen you can change the tips. That I like.
Yeah, yeah, I do like that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So we're gonna battle with Photoshop, and so are you ready to go all in with all your Photoshop tips and tricks, or do you need some practice to see what all you're gonna be able to do in Photoshop?
I'm getting my practice in because it's been like oh gosh, I don't know, 20 plus years since I'd actually used Photoshop proper.
Uh huh.
Because I used to use it a lot, like way back when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's been a while. But I'm getting my practice back in because
Yeah.
I really like how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm practicing getting used to the program and learning all the shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be
Mm-hmm.
ready.
Yeah, yeah. Cause I don't use Photoshop at all, except for the past couple months. I worked on an NFT project, and I started the project in Fresco, and then from Fresco, I moved into Photoshop, and man, um, it's still to this day I feel some kind of overwhelmed. Like, why so many menus? Like, what's all this stuff here? Like, why? But yeah, it's definitely a great tool for art, and it's robust enough to handle just about any size, man.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too foreign because again, I had used it and other Adobe stuff in the past, and its setup is sort of similar to that of like Clip Studio Paint as far as like where toolbars and stuff is placed. It's really
Mm,
just learning how everything functions for that program again.
okay. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I got just a couple of last questions. Okay.
All right.
All right. So one question is, if you were to be able to go back in time and find Lauren at the beginning of the Boxing Bugs, the start of the Boxing Bugs comic, what sort of advice would you give? Would current Lauren give past Lauren?
Oh gosh. Probably taking time to plan. Like I had did my share of like planning everything the comic before, but really making sure like have character designs down before
Mm-hmm.
get to the scene where you need to draw a character, so you come up with something on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So have stuff planned and prepared ahead of time. So like that's a really big thing. Like take time to design settings, take time to design characters, and just get an idea of what everything needs to look like.
Mm-hmm. Right. Before you're forced to come up with it right then and there,
Right, and also go over your script again.
huh? Yes. Okay. I'm in the middle of writing a 20-page comic right now,
Oh,
and
okay.
and is and that's the part that I'm not, that's where I'm at right now. I haven't touched it in a few days, but that's it. It's that part where the writing of each character's dialogue. It's you have to like know your character enough to make up the conversation
Right.
that fits in there. It's like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
writing how the character would actually speak as opposed to writing, just what they should say. Like how would the character actually say this? Instead of like
Mhm.
this they should say this in just the way that you're thinking it out. Like it's a whole thing.
Mhm. Nice. Well, that's some great advice and something that I ask you, because that applies to what I need to know. Oh man, I appreciate your time. The last question is, where do we find your work? Because we're gonna add all those links in the description of the video and the podcast. Um, and you have, I know that you have an Instagram. What is it?
That is Robotic Pastries. The Instagram and Twitter is both Robotic Pastries as well as YouTube. On Tumblr, you can find me on Artist Block Alley, on DeviantArt Dog 22322. I have so many names.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find me also on my website, Robotic.
Okay. All right. And we'll make sure we link all of those where so people can find you. Are you gonna be doing some YouTube live streams anytime this year?
I am. I want to get back to live streaming some work on YouTube again, getting that going because I really do enjoy talking to people I draw and watching weird cartoons as I do it as well.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you taking this time to have a conversation with us and sharing a bit of your creative path. And I hope to see you soon so we can battle it out on Adobe Live.
Yes, I look forward to it.
The Artist King podcast is made possible by the support of our sponsors, Azalea Creative Group, Sketchable Plus, and Visual Artworks. Once again, I am DTM, and I look forward to sharing the business of art with you. Until next time, stay creative.